Hey, good evening, welcome back. Here we are in Dallas this evening, or afternoon local time. I hope everybody's doing well. And yeah, we'll just, as I mentioned in the Discord, start this NFL tour. So today we'll start with the first game that was actually a few days back. We'll fly from Dallas up to Pittsburgh on the 777 American flight 1868, which is actually a real flight, but on a 737, but we'll do it on the 777 today. So welcome back, everybody. Hope you had a good few days. I've not been on this for a few days, maybe a week, 10 days, something like that. Very busy here, flying all the time and stuff. So yeah, here we are. So today we have 2 hours and 8 minutes, 35,000 feet, like always. And weather is good, maybe a couple of showers in Pittsburgh, so we'll see how it goes. I've got a little bit of extra fuel, so I should get us going just in case. Recording also the flight on Volanta, so that should be good. There's no ATC as far as I can see on Volanta in Dallas. Not much actually in the US actually at the moment. Not much going on. So we'll see how it goes throughout the flight. And also connected on VATSIM, so yeah, cool. So without further ado, jump in the flight deck. It's about 2 hours, so it's gonna be a bit of a long flight, so I'll get the proceedings going. And yeah, we'll get the show on the road. So I've got the sound in the sim, which is good. I should have FS to crew if it's still working.
Hi, Captain. How are you today?
I'm great. I'm great. Cool, I picked it up. And we'll go to minus 40.
I'm out for the walk around.
Yeah, and that's the new cave, but on trial, so we'll see how it goes. Yeah, live from the new cave. We'll see. I'm hoping it's gonna be alright, but yeah, we'll have to wait and see. I'll do a few more trials and I will take it from there. How are you doing, sir? Good evening. Welcome back. So minus 40, she's up for the walk around, and then we'll just let it go a little bit and get the rest done. So it's about, what time is it now over there? About 1 o'clock in the afternoon, I think. 1 or 2 o'clock in the afternoon, so if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, about 2:30 in the afternoon, so we should have nice daylight conditions, real time, so that's all good. So, like always, we'll switch on the Adiru, the emergency lights, and come down here to the status page, check if there's any status messages, and there are none, so that's all good. Then I guess we can jump into the FMC. What I'll do quickly, actually, I forgot to do, is to send the flight plan on Discord. Let me find it, just for information. I said 2 hours and 8 minutes, so I'll get cracking. Cool. I said nothing really out of the ordinary, just maybe the weather a little bit in Pittsburgh looks a little bit showery in the late afternoon, so it might be, you know, a little bit of bad weather. You know. So far so good with the new cave, yeah, that's alright. It's just we kind of reshuffle things around a little bit in the house, and yeah, back to a new cave. Actually, it's kind of a long story, but anyway. Asset Man, how are you doing? Good evening. Buenas tardes. Cool. So yeah, we'll start with the FMC. Like always, we've got the Adiru switched on up there. Yeah, cool, excellent. And before I forget this time, since the catering looks, yeah, and they look ready to close the door, so I'll close the door so these guys can move on. I forgot to actually re-enable the alert for GSX, you know, to get the little beeps in the background. Close the door, it's done. Okay, let's start the boarding then. We're not gonna board 600 passengers, we'll just board about 50, that'll be enough. And via the L1 entry. Yeah, very good, thank you, Acidman. I hope you're doing well as well. That yeah, the weather is good in Spain, having a nice summer. Evening time now, kind of stay chilled out in the inside in the house, you know, enjoying maybe a bit of AC and stuff to cool down at night. Let's see. So good stuff. The catering truck are going away, and we're gonna get the passengers, and then probably they're gonna load the bags and stuff. Excellent. Cool, so I can go back to my FMC then. So we got the models 777-300.2, that's ERG90 engines, and the nav data is active until the 12th of August, so we are all good. We are in KDFW, Dallas Fort Worth, and the GPS position will take to inform the initial system where we are. It's the most accurate position actually, because the GPS is, as you know, is very accurate, you know, to the meter, or even closer than a meter, so very accurate. So we can use it to tell the initial system where we are. Then what we'll do is take the origin airport KDFW. And that should give us a list of routes just departing from Dallas, and I think today is route number 2. There were 2 routes I found, so but route number 2 is a little bit shorter, at least today. It's probably due to the winds, but today is the shorter route, so we'll take this one. And now we simulate the data link system of the aircraft. Cool. So the request is sent. And here we get quite a quick reply. I mean, in the aircraft it can take some time, but here it's quite quick. So we'll load the uplink, and we can clear here the the route 1 uplink loading message. And now we get the origin airport, the destination. The flight number is American 1868, like this. And we can check the route quickly. It's Luz, Memphis, Bravo Whiskey Golf, and Anderson, so that's all correct. We can activate and execute. Cool. After that, I'll recheck the perfinite data there, because it's always wrong. At least if you plan the flight properly with, you know, flight planning software, then the reserve fuel, which is actually the alternate fuel plus the last 30 minutes, is always going to be wrong, because I don't really know what number PMDG uses here, so yeah. So I'll take that from the flight plan, which actually is 7.2. Oh, 44 degrees. Yeah, I saw the also in Greece and all, you know, the fires and stuff. It's amazing. The weather is completely crazy, you know. 7.2. Yeah, I don't know what's going on, but heat waves after heat waves, and then you've got all those fires and crazy. The world is going mad. 350 is gonna be the cruise. Cost index is 120, and then we'll make the engine out at 1000. We'll make the this one will make 4000. Oh, mind you, 3,000 is enough. I'm thinking of, there's a restriction, but that will do. So make 3,000 for the acceleration and 1,500 for the thrust reduction. Cool, then we'll go from 17 right. You saw the METAR at the beginning. The wind is 180, 15 gusting 25, so we'll go from on the way 17 right, which is closer to the American Airlines terminal, the A gates. So 17 right, and the departure is Triton, according to the flight plan. On American flights, the departure actually is displayed, or it shows in the flight plan, which it normally doesn't in Europe, for example. So Triton and the loose transition. Cool. So now if we go back to the route, we've got the runway showing, and then on the next page we've got Triton 3 and the loose transition to loose, so we can execute that. Right, let's have a look now at the charts and see if we can cross-check the departure with the FMC. So let me locate the charts. Triton.
Hello.
Here we are.
Thank you.
Rightio. So Triton 3, so we go straight ahead to Spera. Oh, nice. We've got a little box here zoomed in for the earlier stage of the departure. So we go initially to Spera, then Jaeger, 240 and 5,000 feet or above, that's correct. Then to Quartz, which we have. And finally to Trich, which is here, yeah. And then after Trich, all the way, I believe, to Triton. Cool. Oh yeah, Jax. Where was Jax? Missed that one. Oh yeah. Or Jake's, yeah. And then to Triton. And finally to Loose. So it's all in there, so
I'm doing good.
no worries. That's it, so beautiful. We have everything here. I think initially it's 10,000 feet, but there's no ATC, so not gonna care too much about that. We'll load the winds. And yeah, we've got a choice of winds like always, so we can execute the winds here. And then on the... Hey Rabba, thank you very much for the renewal of the subscription. 6 months, amazing. Absolutely amazing. Thank you very much. Very kind. Thank you. And yeah, we'll load the descent forecast, which should come up because I did include the flight plan and in Active Sky. So, hey, Zapovitz, good evening. How are you doing? Elois, good evening. Welcome back. Hope you are all doing well, guys. Zapovitz and Elois. We're just gonna start this. This flight to Pittsburgh for the kind of NFL themed tour over the next few weeks. It actually should take us, as indicated in Discord, it should take us until, you know, February, so there might be weeks where I might not be able to do a flight, but I'll try to stick to it as much as I can, so we'll see. So today we'll start with the first one. Alright, so the descent forecast is good. Progress page 958 for a flight plan distance of, where is it? 979, so a little bit of a longer arrival, but that makes sense at this time. We do a route copy onto route 2 and then back to route 1. And FMCCom is all the uplinks have been taken, so no issues there. And initially 18,000 feet for the transition. That's good. So yeah, we can leave it at that, I think, at the moment. Right, then on the FS panel, the good old FS panel. That'll be nice to have like the actual FS and then MCP panel, wouldn't it? Yeah. Right, so the QNH will use the B function and then change it over to inches of mercury since we are in the US. We'll switch on the flight director The track is 176, I think, initially, for runway 17 right. And we said 10,000 feet initially, although there's no ATC, so we can climb directly to the cruise level, I guess. We'll check the oxygen. Here it is. And the rest is good, and the PFD is all set up. The navigation display as well. This one will make inches of mercury as well. And the center pedal stall here as well is good. We got the parking brake set. That's the main thing. The aircraft is not rolling forward or backwards, so that's good. Cool. Let's see where we are with this bad boy here. Minus 29.
Hi guys, can we start boarding now?
Yes.
Thanks.
Then minus 19. She's gonna do the pre-flight flow. Beautiful. So, in the meantime, hey, bonjour, Ant FS, ça va? Comment vas-tu? On va à Pittsburgh aujourd'hui. Something a little bit different. No, it's gonna be cool actually. It's a good flight, 2 hours. Airport I've never been to either in the sim or in real, so something totally new today. So looking forward to it actually. Dallas I'm familiar with, but Pittsburgh, since it's not like a main destination, it's totally new for me. So that's the you know, that's the good thing about simulation, is that you can go anywhere you want. Right, so briefing. So we're gonna go from the gate. We have the transponder on. We're gonna reduce the thrust, of course. The flap config, I think it's 5. I calculated it. Yeah, that's 5. The packs will be on, of course. No need for anti-ice. NEDP, I think, is 1. 1500, 3000. We're gonna follow the SID and weather and terrain like always. Cool. Yeah, things are good. As I said in the Discord, I've kind of relocated the man's cave, so I need to kind of test a few things, all the connections, that the room is suitable and everything, and we'll see. We'll take it from there. Hopefully it's gonna work out. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed, fingers crossed. But yeah, no, otherwise all good. Just very busy with
I am
work.
ready for the checklist.
I was away for almost a week, and I'm just back last night, so very busy. Which is good. I'm not complaining, but very busy. So no much time to come on here, unfortunately. But yeah, today got a little bit of time. Kind of trying to push on a little bit through the evening, but I should be alright. Shouldn't be too bad, I guess. Right, she's ready for the checklist. So we've got the briefing done. Left seat takeoff, runway 17 right, RNAV to Spera. And yeah, then following all the Triton 3 departure and the loose transition. Happy days. I will take our Dallas Cowboys to the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Dallas 12 traffic, Pacific 7571, taxi to runway.
Right, so yeah, let's do the checklist actually.
Bravo, Mike 6 for departure.
Pre-flight checklist.
Dallas 12 traffic.
Pre-flight checklist. Oxygen.
Tested 100%.
Tested 100%. Flight instruments.
Heading 315, altimeter 3004. Heading 315, altimeter 3004.
Heading 315, altimeter 3004. Pre-flight checklist complete.
I thought I was not going to pick up the inches of mercury, you know, saying 3004. Oh, beautiful. 789 from Minneapolis to Charles de Gaulle. Amazing. How far are you into the flight? Because that will be a good probably 8 or 9 hours, I would imagine. So cool. I hope you enjoy. I hope you have fun with the flight. Right, so we've got everybody. These guys, it looks like they've already loaded the bags and everything. Hopefully there's not gonna be any surprises at the end. Waiting for your action, close the door. Okay, so it looks like everything has been done on the ground. Cool. So we got everybody on. I'll just do the performance initialization there, and I think after that we should be good. So 0 fuel weight. I don't have the load sheet thingy today, but the flight plan is telling me it's 230.4, so we'll insert that in the 0 fuel weight boxes here. Over the Atlantic, okay. Oh, excellent. It's going well so far. On VATSIM over the Atlantic, the 78, what's the flight number? 673. Let's see if I can spot you on Volanta. IFR 673. Sorry, I'm kind of... Oh yeah, approaching Mallet. It shows on Volanta. Oh, very nice. That's cool. Fantastic. Cool, so 0 fuel weight 230.4 plus 27.2 tons of fuel required today. That gives us at the moment a weight of 257.6. We're gonna burn a bit of taxi fuel on the way out. So our takeoff weight should be about 257 tons, which is slightly over the maximum landing weight. So, but that's okay. I mean, even if you were to return very quickly to the airport in an emergency, it's not really a big deal to land slightly overweight. The assumed temperature was 66, I think. Quickly double check. Yeah, 66. And it's gonna give us climb 2 for the climb thrust, so a bit of less powerful climb thrust, because the aircraft at the end of the day is not very heavy. And 89.8% on the N1, we leave it at that. Engine out and axle and thrust reduction, it's all in here. It's already set. Flaps was 5. CG from PMDG, just double click the button here, gives you the CG in percentage, and then the equivalent in trim setting, 4.75 units. And then the speeds, ooh, not too bad. V1 is 159 indeed, and then the rotate is 162, so not too bad, PMDG today. And V2 165. Ah, no bad, no bad. This one is checked. 250 below 10, 350 for the cruise. Transition 18,000 feet, and 350 is the recommended. Beautiful. Oh, you had the power cut. Yeah, that's the one thing I need to try to get, is that autosave. I've been like meaning to get it for a long time, but I've never got around to it, you know. I need to get it, because just in case one day something like that happens.
South 12 traffic, Pacific 7531, taking off runway 13 left,
Elna
entity for
Vinav,
departure,
track
oil
176
transition,
and
climb
10,000
to
feet. Cool.
flight level 380, IFR to Denver, Dallas 12 traffic.
Right, we'll start the APU. I should have done that a while ago already. And then we'll be able to actually accelerate the timeline.
Alright guys, everyone's seated. We're all buttoned up and ready to go in the back.
Thanks.
If you need anything, just let me know.
Yeah, I was looking for something here, which was the door status. I think, yeah, on the American Airlines livery, the door status doesn't show, so you don't get the memo message either. Ah.
If you are seated at an exit seat, also review the exit seating criteria.
Cool. So just waiting for the APU, and then we can go. The doors are closed, so happy days. let's see. We can see the progress of the start as well on the status. The RPM is almost at 100%. And when it gets to 100, you get the AP running message here. Beautiful. Cool. So I'll keep the door displayed here. And APU is running. So we can switch off the primary external power. And then the two external powers show available there. So that means that it's connected but not feeding the electrical system of the aircraft. No electronics can come on as well. Ground flight deck. Ground flight deck.
Go ahead.
Please disconnect the ground equipment.
Roger.
Ground flight deck.
Go ahead.
Can we pressurize hydraulics?
Roger. You're clear to pressurize the hydraulics.
Before start procedure.
Are we clear to pressurize?
Yes.
Okay.
Cool. So far so good. Just to get this done. So she's gonna pressurize the hydraulics, which is basically set up the hydraulic panel up here. I'm not doing anything. FS2 crew does everything. Then the fuel panel, switch on the beacon. Then there's a couple of manipulations with the recall. It doesn't actually display the checklist right now, but we do it in the aircraft.
Ready for the checklist.
And then set the transponder to a Tara, I think. And she's ready for the checklist. I've got one thing to do, is to set the trim. So the trim is 4.75. So we'll come down here and make it 4.5 and 4.75. Here we go. Cool. And now we can do the checklist. Before start, checklist.
Before start checklist. Flight deck door. Closed and locked. MCP.
Set and checked.
Takeoff speeds.
Set and checked.
CDU pre-flight.
Completed.
Completed. Trim.
Set and checked.
Taxi and takeoff briefing.
Completed.
Before start checklist complete.
DFW traffic, American 1868, pushing back from Alpha 33. That's where we're gonna go. Prepare for pushback. Yes. Dallas Fort Worth is amazing airport. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 kind of parallel runways, 2 kind of cross runways. It's a huge airport complex. It's if you've been to DFW before, you know what I'm talking about. It's absolutely like huge. But funnily enough, it kind of gives you a bit of a feeling that it's relatively quiet, yeah. But there's a steady flow of traffic though. But the airport is so big that you don't realize it doesn't feel congested. That's what I'm trying to.
DFW traffic,
say.
Delta 952, taxiing on the runway 17 right via Kilo.
Locking gear.
There seems to be a decent amount of traffic on the ground. Hey, Gilles, ça va? Tomer, good evening. Yeah, I'm doing good, thank you. Today we are starting the NFL theme tour. We'll try to fly every week, pick up like a destination and yeah, fly, you know, according to what the game for the week is. Hold on, let me look at this. Nose to the right, I think, yeah. Did it not pick up? Come on, give me the push. What are you waiting for now? Yeah, flights are busy. Hey, French pilot, how are you doing? Yeah, it's been a while indeed. It's been a while. I've not been on this for about 10 days or so, and yeah. What are we waiting for? No, it wants me to set the parking brake. Okay. So why is he not pushing? What are you doing, my friend? Good point. Let's check. FS actions, ground connections. Oh, the trucks are removed. Ah, they are removed. Nothing is connected to the aircraft. What's going on? Why is he not pushing me? Right, we'll abort the push and we'll start again. We'll get there. American Airlines. Do you want to start engines before pushing back? Ah, that's where I made the mistake, I think, because I pressed yes. No. Donkey. No, I think because I used the simulator maybe a few days ago, and GSX was telling me, do you request push? So I said yes, and then I thought here was, do you request push? But actually it was not requesting push. I read too quickly. It was saying, do you request engine start before the push? And I clicked yes, so it was waiting for me to start the engines, I think. Don't know.
Hello, Captain. We're ready for pushback.
Yeah, I've been waiting for a while. The joys, huh? As I've said many times before, this is a little bit, you know, sterile environment, you know, because it doesn't feel like you're in the aircraft. In the aircraft, you like, you know, have the flight deck, you know, obviously around, the guy on the ground talking through the headsets, speaking to a real human being. If there's a problem, you can try to work it out, not just like reset function in the simulator. So so we said nose to the right.
Departure check completed. Bypass pin inserted. Release parking brakes.
There we
Commencing
go.
push. All engines clear. Start at will.
Right. So we are pushing. Yeah, DFW traffic American 1868 pushing back from Alpha 33. Which in the US will be with the ramp frequency. So the ramp is a little bit like, it's not exactly ground, because there is also a ground frequency or several ground frequencies in a place like DFW. But ramp will be really on the aprons, all the parking areas, and basically the aprons, you know, the kind of areas near the gates where the most of the time actually it's the airline operator who kind of gives clearance to push and to come into the apron and go to the parking. So it's a little bit different from Europe. Start sequence is 2 then 1.
Check.
Start the right engine.
Starting right.
So she'll switch on the start switch up there, which is fairly straightforward.
Oil
And
pressure.
we'll switch this bad boy, the fuel control switch, to run. The N2 increases, the oil pressure increases, the N1 increases. The GT looks like it's modeled on the outside temperature, 33 degrees. The engine was very cold. And yeah, now about 33-34% N2, then the fuel flow increases and the engine starts.
Fort Worth traffic, Delta 952, lining up runway 17 right for takeoff.
Oh, it's gonna take off from here. Cool. That's it. We had the click. And the engine is stable.
Set parking brakes.
Parking brake set.
Waiting your confirmation for good engine start.
Stand by. Start the left engine. Start the left engine.
Starting left.
So same thing, the start switch to start and the fuel control switch to
Oil pressure.
Again, ladies
run.
and gentlemen, Welcome on board our flight today. This is the lead flight attendant
The
speaking.
ability to fly the
Direct your
sim does
attention to the
not
cabin for important
reflect
safety
the
information.
ability to fly the
There is an instruction
aircraft.
card in your seat
Indeed.
pocket that illustrates the safety equipment on
That
this
one is a
aircraft.
classic as well.
Regulations require compliance with this information as well as all crew and
No, but this is good fun actually. I like it, yeah.
signs and posted placards. Fasten your seatbelt by inserting the metal tip into the buckle. Tighten by pulling on the belt. To
Look at
release
me,
your
it's
seatbelt,
spinning.
lift the metal flap on the buckle. It is our policy that you keep your seatbelt fastened at all times while
Beautiful
seated.
engines and G90
Doors are
engines.
clearly marked with
Amazing.
exit signs and instructions for door operation.
I don't know if we saw the smoke, like the puff of smoke. Not today, not this one.
In an emergency, lights
Right,
will
so we've
illuminate
got
the aisle.
two good starts, so
Cabin
we
is
can
pressurized.
release
There is a loss of cabin
GSX,
pressure. Panel will open and oxygen mask
confirm
will
good
appear.
engine start.
Remain seated with your seatbelt fastened and pull a
We'll go
mask
flaps
towards you
5.
to start the flow of oxygen. Oxygen
Flaps
will
5.
be flowing to the mask,
Flaps
even though
5.
the bag may not inflate. Cover your nose and mouth with the mask.
Now
Place
she's
the
gone
elastic
off
band
the
around your
flight
head.
control page.
Tighten
Yeah,
by
here we
pulling
are,
on
so
the
we'll do
mask.
the flight control
Secure your
check.
own
So
mask before assisting others.
up,
Your seat bottom
down,
will be used as a flotation device. Pull up and
left,
remove the cushion. Upon exiting the aircraft,
right.
place your arms around the cushion
Tow truck
and hold on to
disconnected.
the strap
Bypass pin
located on
removed.
the back. This is a non-explosive flight.
Right, so he's gonna disconnect everything. Yeah, the
Airplane
tug.
is
Remove the bypass pin, which kind of connects down here somewhere in the nose gear. And once it's clear and shows the pin, so it's gonna give us 2 waves, one to show the pin and one to say goodbye. Then we can control
Left is clear.
the rudder
Right is clear.
pedals as well. We kind of wait to see the pin, because if the pin is still in and the guy forgot the pin in the nose gear and you check the rudder, that might like shear the whole thing. So kind of wait, just wait and see. No problem at all, Asset Man. That's why I do these as well, just to answer these questions. So no worries at all. So the difference between QNH and Barrow, you mean with those buttons up here, yeah? Because the QNH basically is the altimeter setting that gives you the airport elevation and the altimeter. So for example, right now in Dallas, the QNH is 3004 inches of mercury, or otherwise 1017 hectopascals, and that will give you the altitude readout of the airport, which is a little bit elevated. Actually, it's 600 feet above sea level. The barrow here that you display on the PFD, it's just to display the minimums on an instrument approach. So what we mean by minimums is the lowest altitude you can go to on the instrument approach before you can decide if you are visual with the runway and if you can land or not. So that's what the barrow is. I don't know if that answered your questions. Let's blank that. Right. He's gone, isn't it? Yeah, he's long gone. So let's check the rudder pedals. They do move. That's the main thing. As I explained many times before, we don't actually use the flight control synoptic here. The synoptic is the screen there showing you all the systems that is usually displayed on the lower ICAS here. We don't really use it because you don't really need to see the flight controls surfaces move. All you need is that the controls actually move
The cabin is ready.
the yoke moves and kind of
Cabin
comes
crew,
back
take your
to a
seats.
neutral position. So that's the main thing. Right. Yeah, that's the one. before taxi checklist.
Before taxi checklist. Anti-ice. Auto. Recall.
Checked.
Flight controls. Ground
Checked.
equipment.
Clear.
Before taxi checklist complete.
Yeah, and when I fly the recall, actually I've got to say recall. The colleague reads recall and I have to say checked. But here the first officer does recall checked. That's why I jumped. Right, let's go then. Where are we? I'll try to use the the EFB because in Nantes the other day I ended up in on the wrong taxiway, so I'll try to use the EFB with the ground layout. But please remind me to switch back to the flight deck view. DFW traffic, American 1868 taxiing to holding point 17 right. Clear left. Clear left. Clear left.
Clear right.
Indeed. Let's go. So we'll go on to Kilo, I think. Still no ATC, yeah. So we'll go on to Kilo. And then we'll join. No, actually I should go on to Lima, yeah? Yeah, I'll go on to Lima, it will be easier. So we'll take this first right here. We're hotter in Texas, 33 degrees, nice. So yeah, we'll take this one. That's Kilo 6. Joystick feels a little bit loose. And yeah, joining Lima. Let's not get onto the runway. That will be embarrassing as well, but hey, you have to have fun. So by saying clear left, clear right, then she should have, yeah, the taxi lights and the runway turn off lights on, which is good. I don't know if we got the cabin ready. Did we get the ding dong there? I'm not sure we did. Normally we wait for the cabin ready to be received to do the before takeoff checklist. So that's really my trigger, you know, get the ding dong cabin ready, display the weather radar or the terrain on the navigation display, and then do the before takeoff checklist. So Lima, we have the performance actually from Eco Hotel. So at the top here you can see Eco Hotel, so we can take the first intersection actually. And actually I don't need this anymore, so good. So fourth on the right from now. That was Zulu, Yankee, and then it should be Eco Hotel, so actually the third. I cannot count. Please be lenient. So yeah, we'll go on to Eco Hotel first intersection. It doesn't change much. It's still a very long runway. I think it's how long is it? 4,000 meters or something crazy like that. Yeah, 4,090 meters exactly. So long runway. So first on the right here, Eco Hotel is coming up. We can see the sign. So we'll turn right, and I guess we'll do the before takeoff checklist then. I don't know about the cabin ready, but before takeoff checklist.
Before takeoff checklist. Before takeoff checklist complete.
Checklist complete. DFW traffic, American 1868 lining up and rolling runway 17 right. Nobody on the approaches there, that's good. Runway entry procedure.
Check.
So she's gonna switch off all the lights and possibly ask the crew to sit down for takeoff. Oh, I thought there was a cabin crew, prepare for takeoff or something like that. Nope, not today. So I had a question earlier on Discord about the elapsed time when there's no clock on the aircraft. This is actually a perfect example. As you can see, there's no clock down here, and on the left of the flight deck there, the clock is missing, but the clock shows digitally on the bottom right corner of the PFD. So you've got the time now is 1908 Zulu, and the elapsed time is bottom left corner on there. So as soon as we start the takeoff, then the elapsed time will kick in. Let's do that. So set 55%. Let the engine stabilize. Take off. Take off.
Check. Thrust set.
Thrust ref.
Check.
Let's go to Pittsburgh.
80 knots.
Hold.
Check.
Let's go. Let's go. So a lot of the rate because we are relatively light.
V1.
Rotate. Positive climb.
Gear up.
$400 feet.
Thrust ref.
Check.
Enough speed.
Check.
Right, let's go. So yeah, every time there's a change in these green boxes, then you have to call it out so that you are aware of what the automation is doing. Right, and we'll turn
Climb.
to Spera. So the takeoff clearance in DFW will be something like American 1868, RNAV to Spera, clear for takeoff, runway 17, right. So they will tell you RNAV to Spera, which is the first RNAV waypoint on the departure. Yeah, it does it automatically. As soon as you lift off, then the auto brake switch gets back to off. It's quite neat, isn't it? Alright, so it's time to accelerate now. So we'll lower the nose and let the speed build up. Flaps 1.
Speed check. Flaps 1.
And as you accelerate, you've got to trim as well for the speed. And you can see the blue FW move up.
Checked.
Flaps up.
Speed check. Flaps up.
After takeoff checklist.
After takeoff checklist. After takeoff checklist complete.
Checkity check. So initially maintaining 240 knots. There was a speed limit in the initial climb there. And then we can accelerate to 250. Yeah, on the 737 you're correct, you're absolutely correct. It has to be done manually. as part of the after takeoff flow, where you do it manually indeed, and then check it with the checklist. The checklist on the 737 obviously is a little bit more involved, because there's a lot more like switching to double check. I'm very impressed, very impressed. Right, you played enough, I think. Engage the autopilot. And we'll match the track as well. Put the magenta little triangle there along the track line. Cool, that's it. And we'll continue the climb to 50350 straight away. Still no ATC now. Still connected on VATSIM, but no ATC, so. Cool. Let's have a look outside. Wow.
$10,000 feet.
Let's get a bit of hype, a little bit of music. Let's go to Pittsburgh. This one is very popular, the music. If you're into it, if you're into the NFL, of course. Yeah, French pilot reviewing the 737 flows. Yeah, I was actually going to do this flight today on the 737, but yeah, I kind of changed my mind at the last minute. Well, not at the last minute, but I reviewed the plans. There's a lot of flows on the 737 because there's many more like switches to move, and also like check the positions of the switches, which can be actually quite vital, depending on some of the switches. For example, the packs, the pressurization mode selector. You know, you can have it on auto, on alternate, and manual. If it's on manual, then of course you get, you know, you can fly unpressurized like the Helios, so it's not like a good thing to do. The packs also, if they are switched off, there's nothing showing in the recall, so you're not aware of the position of the packs. On this one, if for example like a pack is off, then straight away it's gonna show on the ICAS here, so you know the position of the switch. This aircraft is that way is quite well designed and user friendly in a sense, but the 737 is a little bit more basic and more classic in the way it's designed, so you've got to watch the position of the switches. So there's a lot of flows, a lot of things like that indeed. Yeah, I've flown the 737 before, yeah I did. It's amazing aircraft actually, it's very nice, but you've got to be careful. There's many more things to check on the 737. That's gonna be the transition altitude, so we'll reset the altimeters to standard which we have 3 times, and we'll release the passengers as well, which I had forgotten. Below us is Lake Ray Hubbard. Oh, is that the name of the actual lake? Yeah, I have no Scooby-Doo, to be fair, but I like the local knowledge. Oh yeah, we the flight was registered on Volanta. Cool. So I'm on the way in Volanta. Beautiful. I like that. There's actually another lake issues on Volanta. Where is Volanta? Here, and that's Lake what is it? Tawakoni. That's just to the. Let's have a look. Yeah, that's Lake Takawoni there. Let me remove Volanta, otherwise you won't see anything. That's the lake that was on Volanta on the right of the aircraft. Amazing. All in the right location. Lake Tawakoni indeed. It's great, we've got a break in the cloud here so we can see the lake. All the prairies of Texas. Amazing. I didn't know there was a bridge in the middle there. Oh yeah, it's on the map also. Amazing. And then there's another lake on the left, a little bit smaller, which according to the map, oh, that could be Jim Chapman Lake. Or maybe a little bit further up. Yeah, Jim Chapman Lake. You know that map box which provides the background map for Volanta is used as well by the airlines for all the monitoring and efficiency things, you know. So we can check our flights over like a map, a little bit like on Volanta, and see like all the parameters of the flights, you know, we do. So it's the same map provider. I was really surprised to see that actual airlines use the same map provider than Volanta. I say, yeah, how amazing is that? Cool, so far so good. Climbing away. And then we'll pass Millwood Lake. Millwood Lake, oh yeah. To the left of the track, yeah, Millwood Lake. Loads of lakes like that in Texas. Just before we get to Luce, which is the first waypoint on the flight plan at the end of the transition. Oh, and that's funny. There's a place called Prescott, which is the name of the Cowboys quarterback. Funny is that? Oh, and there's actually a tower in Memphis. Oh, shall we dive into Memphis then? There's a tower controller in Memphis. Beautiful. But no, today we're not going to Memphis. Today we'll go to Pittsburgh. Yeah, if you have any questions, French pilot, about the 737, to the best of my long distance, you know, knowledge, I can try to help out or answer any questions you may have. Obviously, the flows will depend on the procedures you are asked to apply. So there are different ways to operate the aircraft. There's not like one way of applying the procedures depends on what the what the SOPs are basically, but right from the nav here. The way the FMC displays are used is that normally the pilot flying, so the pilot who handles the autopilot and the controls in general, pilot flying, will use the page on the FMC for the phase of flight. So at the moment, since we are climbing, I'm using the climb page here. And the pilot monitoring, so the guy who's helping out with, monitoring the flight and doing the radios, the paperwork, and all the moving of switches and things like that, will have the legs page on his side. So yeah, pilot flying climb page and pilot monitoring legs page here, like this. That will be the kind of pages we have displayed. Of course, you are allowed to change, as desired to pick up the information you require, but the default will be like this. So when you fly around in your sim, you can kind of, pretend, okay, I'm pilot flying here, so left FMC will have the climb page and the pilot monitoring here. On the right side, we'll get the legs page, and vice versa, of course. If the first officer is pilot flying, then the FMCs will be showing like this. Or is it just the other way around? Cool. Da 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 da. I like that music, man. It kind of gets me pumped up. It really does me all pumped up. I'm looking forward to the next season, actually. That should be good. Right, and then today I think we'll try to go through a little bit, some of the paperwork and what's involved and what we do, That will be interesting as well to kind of go over that. The check airman, or like jump seat view here in the middle. So have we finally solved all the MSFS issues, or is it still going on? I know that today is, what's today? I'm totally lost in time, I have to say. I said I was away for a week, a little bit across all of the Americas and stuff, and I'm a little bit out here. Today's Tuesday, yeah. So what did I want to say?
1,000 feet to level
I've
off.
lost the thread now. Never mind. What did I want to talk about? I've totally lost the thread, man. No! And 1,000 to level off. Or 1,000 feet, she says. That will be a French pilot. I don't know if you hear. That will be something that I'm sure will be part of the MCC course. Well, they will teach you, like with 1,000 feet to level off. They will tell you that there's an SOP call, so you will call out something like 1 to go, or like FS2 crew is doing 1,000 to level off, or 1,000 feet to level off, or something like 340 climbing 350. There will be some sort of a call as a reminder that you're about to approach the target altitude, and therefore there's a bit of a sterile phase and you need to pay attention a little bit. Oh, right, but okay. You're showing the flight plan on the left, so flight plan. Do you mean the route page like this, or the legs page, and then the progress page on the right or on the other side? I mean, it doesn't matter if it's left or right. But yeah, no, that was the you know, what I was saying was pretty much the default pages displayed that we use. So, well, of course, as I said, you can change around, and it's not like set in stone, but that's the kind of default. So now that I'm cruising, obviously it shows the icon cruise page and still on the legs page, and then you move around, obviously looking at the information you need. If you want to see the progress page, and then, for example, position report and all that stuff, then of course you do that. Yeah. Oh, Chicago is on, and Philadelphia departure. Yeah, it's kind of early afternoon in the US. Yeah, it's about 3:30 p.m. in Dallas. So. Oh, we've got Reno approach, looking at Volanta. But is that San Diego? Oh yeah, San Diego Tower. San Diego is a little bit earlier. It's probably lunchtime or something. It's crazy, huh? So we'll see. As I said on the Discord, there's about 32 teams. It's exactly 32 teams, 30 cities. So we'll try over the next few weeks to visit the 30 airports. So this week that was for the first game, which was Dallas to Pittsburgh. So that's what we're doing today. And then next week, I think I picked up Seattle to Las Vegas. So that will be pre-season week 1. So as I said, just to get a bit of inspiration for the flights, you know. You don't always know where to fly and all these things. So hey, why not like following this, look at what the games are, and then pick up the fly from the visiting team to the home team. You know, pick up a game every week, either the Sunday night game or the Thursday night game or whatever. Something that makes sense, that is not too long as well, and yeah, do the flights, which should be good. But of course, depends also how much availability I have and how much I can do. There might be a few bye weeks, but I'll do my best to try to do as much and visit as many airports as possible. As I said, I think the next one is supposed to be, if I remember what I decided already, Seattle to Las Vegas. That should be a good one, okay? Along the west coast. I heard, actually, I don't know if it's true, but that would be something quite interesting at the end of the day, that in the US they will be looking for like non-US pilots, obviously with a decent amount of experience, and there wouldn't be a need for like you know, any complications for immigration and all that stuff to get a green card and go work in the US. That would be quite interesting, actually. So I'll have to look at the if the current employer is working. Don't worry, I'm thinking about it for too much, but just in case, that would be cool. It's a little bit clearer, man. I totally forgot what I wanted to talk about earlier on. You know, sometimes you got something in your head and then it just goes, and then to try to remember now, I'm totally lost. I wouldn't be able to say. That's that. Pipeline is good. I'll get the charts later on for Pittsburgh. Quite a big airport actually. 3 parallel runways, 28 left, center and right. Obviously the reciprocal, and I think maybe a cross runway somewhere, if I remember so earlier on. Where is it? Yeah, 3214. So yeah, a big airport. Oh, let's see if in the US the ATIS works. There's, where's it? Memphis on 12775. Let's see if we can listen to that. Because in Europe sometimes the ATIS frequencies, they don't work.
Visibility 10.
Oh yeah.
Ceiling 3,800.
It's like the Dublin ATIS.
25,000 broken. Temperature 34. 2.24. Altimeter 3009er. Landing runways 18 left and 18 right. Departing runways 18 right and 18 center.
Memphis, which is donde está Memphis?
On first contact. Operate
You know what?
C on
I can put it in the fixed page.
Simultaneous approaches of parallel runways in use. Advise on initial contact.
Oh, here it is.
You have information delta.
Yeah, because it's actually on the route, so we can set like let's say like 150 mile ring on Memphis to show where the airport is, and to be within about 20 minutes flying time to the airport. So for any possible diversions, then that's a good thing to do.
Temperature 34. 2.24.
So the ATIS, the voice assist is working there. That's good. I'll go back to Unicom. The Red River. Donde está the Red River? Yeah, we passed Millwood Lake. The river. I can't see the river. Gonna go past a place called Hope. Here the towns are a little bit less obvious than maybe in MSFS, which is a little bit more based on GPS and satellite things. But that's exactly what I wanted to talk about, and then I totally lost the thread. Was about MSFS. Like I saw before the weekend, there was supposed to be an update, and is that now a little bit like fixed, or is it still like broken? Because a lot of people were complaining, you know, about MSFS. There was a lot of CTDs, you know, crash to desktop and all that jazz. A lot of unhappy people, you know. So hopefully it's sorted out now. I think I've not updated MSFS, or at least I've not done the last update or the latest. I did the one last week at some point very quickly, and the simulator actually crashed. Believe it or not, it just went. I was like, really? Oh, no. So. And from what I understand, there's been a few updates for the DC6, so I have to try one of these days the DC6 again. However, now that I've embarked on this kind of like tour in the US, it might be a little bit difficult by the DC6. We'll see how it. Oh, you had a CTD when zooming into a departure. Oh, okay, but not during the flight. Oh, that's good. At least it's at the beginning of the flight. You can start again. If you have like a CTD in the middle or towards the end of the flight, then to start all over again is a bit, it's typical, isn't it? Yeah, I just wish, you know, it was they improved the performance, which is like definitely noticeable, but they broke other things in the process. So. Oh, and you're losing AntFS, you're losing the mouse cursor as well. Yeah, the mouse cursor sometimes is difficult to locate. I agree. I definitely agree. It's sometimes like difficult to locate. Do you totally lose it, or is it just like difficult to find on the screen and then you move around and eventually it kind of reappears somewhere? That's crazy. And I can't believe it's on Xbox, you know, it's like becoming a video game. Once again, you know, and I don't want to sound like a snob, you know, it doesn't like, you know, the kind of Xbox and MSFS and the kind of video game side of things. I mean, don't get me wrong, you know what I'm like. But yeah, it's on Xbox, man, would you believe it? So you can have your Xbox or your, not PlayStation actually, it's only Xbox, but your little joystick there and go and fly like planes around. I will be curious to see actually the graphics on Xbox, because usually Xbox or like PlayStation, like the graphics are quite good, huh? So it looks really good, like some of the games are very good. So it's a known bug. Oh, okay, yeah. That's another one they'll need to fix, obviously. It's just one bug amongst many other bugs. Yeah, MSFS is a good game for VFR to kind of see places around. It does look good, it's, you know, good graphics. It looks a little bit more natural, but from a flying point of view, it's a little bit more questionable, yeah. Ah, okay. He could not set up the Thrustmaster. Okay. How is that? Was it with Flight Simulator, or was it with, for example, the Airbus add-ons on Prepared? The Thrustmaster is the... correct me if I'm wrong, because... yeah, is it the kind of Airbus like thrust lever and stuff, or am I talking totally rubbish? Oh, with the Xbox version. Ah, okay. Mind you, maybe it's not compatible, huh? If it was on the Xbox. I don't know, to be fair. I have to say the Airbus thrust lever kind of joystick and stuff is really good, because if you're like into Airbus, then you have the, you know, the detents on the thrust lever, and really good. You know, I've said before, I was looking at you know, like try to get the actual FS panel along with the MCP panel, and then the DSP there, the display situation panel, or whatever it's called, this bit. No need, I guess, to get like a second FS panel, because mind you, what could you yeah, in a sense, maybe get the two FS panel, the MCP, the DSP, and the other FS panel, you know, actually there on the desk, and instead of moving the mouse like this to change the, you know, all the buttons and stuff, like have it on the desk there and do it manually. That would be amazing. That would be really good. I could put it, depends how thick it is. When the aircraft is maybe, I don't know, like this, something like that. But maybe 60 centimeters, I don't know, it's hard to tell, but so something like this on the desk where you could like play with the buttons, like turn the knobs and stuff, set the altitude, the speed and everything. That would be amazing. I think some of these things are actually plug and play. They are compatible with PMDG, for example, and otherwise, yeah, the real cockpit parts. This will be very nice, but from like a kind of electronic and compatibility point of view, how you would wire this thing to the computer or to the sim, that would be like something different. I guess that would be yeah, totally different. Yeah, it's a long distant dream. Also very little wind, 176 at 9, there's hardly anything. 128 miles to Memphis. So we passed loose with 20.3 on the gas or the fuel, and loose we were supposed to have 19.7, so we are saving a little bit of fuel, which is good. Cool. And FS, you're saying, did you see the video where the guy built a 737 in his garage? Actually, I had met like many years ago a guy who was doing this. It's probably not the same guy, but I had been to some sort of like flight simulation show or something similar, and that guy was actively working on building a 737 cockpit in his garage, and he got like parts from an actual aircraft. It was like a few years back, so the guy was looking at actually a 777-300 flight deck, but he had the whole flight deck, you know, they cut, and yeah, he was setting this stuff in his garage. Maybe it's the same guy, I doubt it, but there's quite a few actually. They managed to find all the aircraft which have been, you know, put to the scrapyard, and then they convert the old fuselage and flight deck into like a home simulator. That would be amazing, man. I don't know how I would get like even if it's like a 737, I don't know how I would get the 73 flight deck in the man's cave here. That would be interesting. God, imagine. Maybe once I retire, but I don't know, we'll see. Let's see what the weather is for Pittsburgh. Oh, 10 statute miles, but light thunderstorm rain. And then you've got all those fancy codes, lighting, distance, occasional lightning, southeast, east. La la. Hey Animus, how you doing? Good evening. How are things? Or good afternoon, maybe. I don't know. It's a truly global world. It's hard to tell. It's almost 4 o'clock in the afternoon in... not 4 o'clock actually. Now it's what? Now it's gonna be 2000 and Dallas. It's 5 hours before, so 1500. So 3 o'clock in the afternoon in Dallas. So it's a truly global world. Yeah, this is PMDG 777 for P3D. Yeah? Absolutely correct. Which works quite well. They updated it now. How long is that? Like at least 6 months ago, something. The initial update release was a little bit, but they improved a few things. And there's not actually been an update. I mean, I've not checked, but I've not seen any updates since then. So they seem to be quite happy with the product. I understand they're now working on the 737 and the 737 and 777 for MSFS, but it's gonna take a while still because they're still not trying to work out how they can make it across to the new platform. So we'll see. I think the DC6 was like a trial to see how it goes, how they can convert some of the things. Because from what I understand, the way they do it, if I understood properly when I was reading this thing, is that then they convert onto MSFS all the files and stuff, so it takes a little bit of time. There's a few hurdles along the way. And in a few minutes we'll overfly Memphis. Yeah, Memphis is here. From town of Elvis. And not very far from Memphis is Nashville, where my suitcase once ended up. I think Nashville is KNB. I don't know. Where is Nashville? Oh, we passed Little Rock actually, in Arkansas, somewhere around here. Difficult to tell, of course, there, but where this American, actually, it was American Airlines or American Express or whatever, ended up off the runway trying to land in wind shear and all that stuff. Not pretty. No, it's KBNA, no? For Nashville. Do you have the new Iraq? Yeah, I've got the Iraq in date. Indeed. KBNA. Oh yeah, a little bit further up. Let me double check. KBN. Nashville, yeah. Yeah, my that's funny now, but maybe not so much funny when it happened. I was positioning from Chicago to Indianapolis, of all places, and when we got to Indianapolis, there was like 3 of us, 3-man crew. We got to Indianapolis. One of the guys got his suitcase, you know, at the carousel. The 2 other guys, myself included. So where's the suitcase? And to see the luggage people. Oh yeah, no, we've got no trace of it. God. So go to the hotel in uniform. The following morning, go to breakfast with the with the uniform shirt, the uniform trousers. Obviously, like no epaulets or no tie or nothing. But it was winter time. There was like snow outside and all that stuff. Get in touch with like I can't remember the airline. I think it was American Airlines as well. Get in touch with the airline. Oh yeah. We've got. We managed to trace your suitcase. Your suitcase is in went to Nashville. It's like, God. But we'll send it back to you in the afternoon. So eventually in the afternoon, I got my suitcase back. Anemos, yeah, the Iraq is the hidden page. Yeah, 2107, that's correct. Actually expires not tomorrow, the day after, on Thursday. Thursday is the time of the month where the Iraq changes to 2108, then the next one. Ralba, good question. No, we tend not to bother passengers about geographical, like landmarks and point of interest and stuff, because on these long flights, like, people are usually sleeping, or otherwise they'll be watching, you know, a film on the entertainment system, and they don't want to be basically disturbed by the pilot going, "Hey, ladies and gentlemen, we are flying over this or we're flying over that." People are like quite happy just either sleeping whenever, you know, it's time to sleep, or otherwise watch their film on the entertainment system or whatever. Because when you do a PA and you're watching, you know, a film on the entertainment system, the PA goes through the assets and stops the film, so you don't want to disturb them. But no, we tend not to be fair. Maybe before on the short haul, since there's no entertainment system and, you know, it's like short flights, maybe you could point out a few things along the way if it was quite obvious to look at, of course on a clear day, or but on long haul like this, not really, no. Yeah, it's mostly not to disturb people, because at the end of the day, passengers can follow, like, you know, the progress of the flight. There's some sort of a map, you know what it's like, you know what the entertainment systems are like, you know, where you'll get like a map like this, and then you'll get all the flight information, the estimated time of arrival, and so they would be able to follow a little bit the progress of the flight like that. But and to be fair also, for example, on a 777, don't know if we can go in cabin here. I've lost. I can't remember. No. I'll go from here. Hold on. The bell for texture sharing. So that's, I think that's the business class, which kind of obviously it depends. Wow. But yeah, economy class usually on a 777 it's actually a different layout. It should be 3 seats on the side, 4 in the middle, and then 3 again on the other side. So to be able to see outside, to see out of the window, is basically the person who's sitting here, the seat window here, and then the person who's sitting here. So it's a fairly limited number of people actually, because out of 10 seats abreast, there's only 2 people who can actually look out of the window. So, you see what I mean? It's kind of limited a little bit. So yeah. Right, so that's gonna be Memphis indeed. Listen to the 80s, I think the weather was good. It's a big river in the middle. What's the river actually? Is it Mississippi? Must be the Mississippi, no? I can't see it. Oh yeah, yeah, it's the Mississippi. You can see it on Volanta. It's nice to have Volanta actually. It shows you all the geographical landmarks and all the cities and towns, rivers, lakes. Yeah, that's the Mississippi River. We don't have the steamboats doing the sim here. Well, true is also the train. But... Hey, Animals, cool. That's very good. Olympic Airlines, fantastic. That is, oh, I always mix the Greek with I mix up Kalimera and Kalispera. I always mix the two up. And Yassas. I know those three phrases, but I always mix up the meanings, so you'll forgive me. Yeah, I like Volanta, man. I really like it. The main function is to obviously record your flights, but also you've got you know, the possibility to see actually where you're flying, which is quite cool. It shows you all the, as I said, all the cities, all the rivers, lakes. Oh, Yassas then is yes. Yeah, you'll forgive me. So yeah, that's Memphis. It's a little bit cloudy. Yeah, that's the river. The virtual Mississippi. Beautiful. Right, so after Memphis, we were supposed to be at Memphis VOR with 17.2 tons of fuel after 50 minutes. And that's 50 minutes now elapsed time, so we are slightly early on the flight plan, which is good. And 17.2. If we look at the progress page and position report, 17.8. So we are saving a little bit of fuel. Yeah, we just passed over the airport. Yeah. Passed over Memphis International. Fortunately, it's a little bit cloudy. Oh, that must be representing the city there. Yeah, and the airport is here actually. Yeah, here's the airport. Memphis is actually not one of the airports where there's an NFL team, because the Tennessee Titans are in Nashville, not in Memphis. So although it's Tennessee, it's not in Memphis, it's in Nashville. So if there's an opportunity to fly to to the location of the Tennessee Titans, then it would be Nashville Airport. Memphis. But yeah, that must be Memphis there along the river, kind of some sort of built-up area. Yeah, Memphis, I think it's got a lot of FedEx. That's correct. Yeah. Obviously a bit of airline traffic, but a lot of FedEx. Next waypoint is Bravo Whiskey Golf, which is it Greenwood? In a place called, I know, Bowling Green. Bowling Green is the name of the place.
Tower, this is Ghost Rider requesting a
Animals,
flyby.
thank you very much for the follow.
Negative, Ghost Rider.
Thank you very much, appreciate it.
No, ma'am, this is
Hopefully
not a
we'll
good
see you
idea.
from time to time.
Sorry, Goose.
I usually either
request
if
the tower.
on Twitch like this, I will be either around 1800 Zulu, but that's a little bit more rare for me to be on at this time. Otherwise, the most common time is around 1000 Z. 1000Z I tend to be on. If I'm on, that will be the time I'm on. But yeah, at the moment during the day it's a little bit more difficult, so I kind of come here on the evening, but normally I'm on during the day. Right, check something. Cool. Yeah, I was going to double check FedEx. This I do think is like Google is saying, why is FedEx hub in Memphis? And Google says, among the reasons FedEx chose Memphis as its headquarters, was its central location, and because the airport was rarely closed due to bad weather. There you go. So central location in the US, which is fair enough, and then the weather being generally good. There you go. You learn everything. Hey Bob, how you doing? Welcome back. We just learned that FedEx chose Memphis as their hub because of the central location in the US and the good weather, like allowing the airport to remain open all the time. Rotterdam, good evening, sir. Welcome back. How are things? How is the doggy? Learn something new every day. It kind of makes sense in a way that at least about the central location, because it's pretty much indeed in the middle of the US. Maybe not exactly in the middle, but yeah, in a kind of central location. At least for the eastern part of the US. For the west coast is maybe a little bit far. If you talk about Seattle or LA, Memphis is a little bit far. But for like, I don't know, Dallas, where we're flying from, or like Florida, or the East Coast, like New York or Philadelphia or whatever, or even further north to Chicago, it's true that it's kind of at the crossroads. Yeah. The educational channel. That's all it seems to be. So. Yeah, and then this one with the green circle we said was Nashville, so we might end up in Nashville during this fancy tour I'm trying to be on. I'll try to find the way as well on, let's see, because as you can see on the navigation display here, you've got a lot of those blue circles which represent airports. I think there's an option to limit the number of airports which are displayed. Mostly I think with the length of the runway. So I have to look at maybe trying to remove some of these airports, because I think some of these airports are like quite small, and you wouldn't go there with 777s. I think there's an option to limit the numbers. Oh, fantastic! You got the bones from the barbecue. Oh, so barbecue, I guess good weather then, huh? That's good. I hope it was a pleasant thing. Yeah, I'm doing fine, thank you very much. Just busy and stuff, but yeah, no, otherwise all good. All good, thank you. Yeah, remember when you talked about the dog, you said it was like quite a heavy dog, quite big dog, 37 kilos, is that correct? I've got this figure in mind, 37 kilos, like a big beast. Yeah, actually, let's have a look at this. If we go to setup, options, Bob, you wouldn't know by any chance where you could select the airports? I think there's an option where you can remove some of those airports displayed here on the map. Maybe displays. So on the American Airlines, obviously you need to change the units there because it will show you pounds. If you're familiar with pounds, then fair enough, be my guest. But for me, like pounds, it's like Fahrenheit. I'm getting there. I know 15 degrees Celsius is 59 Fahrenheit. I know that freezing, so 0 Celsius is 32 degrees Fahrenheit, and from there I can kind of extrapolate or convert or whatever. But yeah, minimum runway length, yeah, that's the one. So maybe around here. Oh, here it is, minimum runway length. So, oh, but that's in feet. Is he talking about like how do you call that? The measuring things. So we'll make it maybe 8,000. How much is 8,500 feet? Let's ask Google again. $8,500 feet in meters. And Google is saying 2590. Ah. So maybe because that would get rid of few airports which are still usable. 8,000 feet is 24. Maybe we'll make it 7, 8. Yeah, maybe 7, 8. So 7,800 feet. Yeah, and that removes already quite a few airports from the display. Ah, okay, Bob, I'll look at it. Yeah. I know there was an update with FS2 Crew. I can't remember the version number, but I think there was an update recently. But I think I got FS2 Crew at the time with one of the providers, you know, one of the other like simulation websites, and therefore I don't have like the order details anymore. So that kind of basically kind of like slow me down, and I've not really looked at it any further. But I don't actually run the latest version, so I'll have to look at that. Thank you for the link, by the way. Cool. Yeah, I'm thinking 7,800 feet. That's about 2,300 and a bit meters. I want to be able to see like places like I don't know, like Newcastle or something, which are a little bit short. I should still be able to see them on the display. So I'll see. Oh yeah, because Rabai had quite a few floods recently. I think a little bit in Germany and in Holland as well. There were quite a few bad storms a few weeks back. So we're gonna pass Nashville and then we go into Kentucky. The state of Kentucky Fried Chicken. In Kentucky there's another like quite big cargo hub in Louisville, which is kind of, read it as Louisville, but I think they say like Louisville, Kentucky. I think it's for UPS, if I'm not mistaken. There's a UPS hub in Louisville, Kentucky. If it is in Kentucky, okay. I'll Google again. Yeah, no worries, what's that again? Louisville. There's a Louisville City Football Club. Is it Kentucky? Yeah, Louisville, Kentucky. And Louisville, Kentucky is UPS, isn't it? So according to Wikipedia, yes, World Port. Fantastic. KSDF, yeah. Yeah, I know, Ralba, it was a shame, a lot of, you know, fatalities and stuff, yeah. Good. Now you've got fires in Greece, in Turkey, it's never ending. I think in the US as well, on the West Coast. Just everywhere. The world is going mad. Cool. I think actually one of my old neighbors has actually gone back to UPS. Actually, I think he's working now in based out of Louisville in Kentucky. Indeed, working for UPS. So people are moving on. No, I'm quite happy where I am actually. Okay, that's not too bad. But as I was saying a while ago, I'll definitely have a look, see at this scheme to get a job in the US, because apparently they are very short of pilots. So, Rotterdam, sorry, I don't have the bottle with me tonight. Actually, I should go and get it because I'm starting to get a little bit thirsty. Maybe I'll put you on pause and get like a quick drink at some point before we descend, but I don't have the water today. I forgot about these things. Hey, okay, how are you doing? I think I missed your message earlier on as well. Oh yes, you were asking how's the real life flying. Very busy actually, but I can't complain. It's good, you know. We want to be busy, so that's good. The aircraft in Louisville, I'm not really sure, to be fair. I'm not gonna hazard a guess. I don't know. I'm not really sure, but definitely cargo. That's for sure. Yeah, I mean the pay and benefits of course are good. I guess you would start at the bottom of the seniority, so maybe initially it will be a little bit tough, but also for the lifestyle and, you know, the opportunities, I think that would be great. Like I enjoy, you know, when we fly to the States, it's always a good layover, and it's really a place I like to go to. So yeah, that would be interesting. Well, that's for sure. Yeah, oh, that's good though, Kicks. Yeah, enjoying work and then coming and do it here as well. Is that not crazy? Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we already do a little bit of cargo at the moment, so it wouldn't be that much different. But yeah, no, I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind at all. And I wouldn't mind as well, you know, we're talking about like the American majors. Like if you were telling me, or you go back, well, you go back. You go to an American major as a first officer, I wouldn't mind, you know, it's like the rank, captain or whatever, it doesn't really matter. If the job and the lifestyle and everything that goes with it are like decent enough, then if, I don't know, you get me into, let's say like American, for example, on a 787 or 777, or even on a 737 as a first officer, I'll be quite happy, you know, to go along with that, so. With FedEx, you know, on the 777 freighter, for example, that would be amazing. That would be very, very good indeed. So, yeah, we'll see. I don't know. My wife was telling me about the scheme. There was like some sort of like a website being like circulating, you know, on social media here amongst the pilot community about that website. That was some sort of agency or something that was apparently organizing all the immigration paperwork and the contacts with the airlines to fly in the US. Apparently they are very short of people. Anyway, maybe once I'll be streaming live from the US, you never know. Yeah, Nemos, take your time, no worries, man, take your time. I'll be here. That's what I said to colleagues, you know, when the colleagues say, oh, I'll go to the toilet or something like that, and then yeah, I'll be here, take your time. When you come back, I'll still be here. Yeah, okay, it's true, because then if you find yourself with someone you're not getting on with, there's nobody else, it's just like 2 pilots or maybe 3 pilots. It's a little bit different, but to be fair, like during the flight, you don't see much of the rest of the crew and the flight attendants. You don't really see them too much. You see the ones who would work at the front of the aircraft, but the ones who work at the very back, for example, in economy class, or you don't really see them. I mean, because the aircraft is you know, divided into sections, and you only see really the purser or the number 1 or whatever you want to call it, you know, at the front, and maybe the flight attendants who work at the front section as well, but the others you don't really see, so it doesn't make much difference to be fair. Oh, a little bit of weather on there. Storm or something brewing. Hey, is this serious? The radar on there? I don't see anything threatening. Sometimes the weather, like you can see like the bubbling clouds, you know, the big mushroom clouds bubbling up, but nothing looking very offensive there, I have to say. Oops. Yeah, sometimes it's a little bit, you know, it's a little bit of a carry-on, you know, because most of the time we have something to talk about. If you have nothing to talk about, if you don't have anything in common, then the one thing you have in common is the company. So you can like moan about the company, about you know, about everything about the company and stuff. At least that's one thing in common. You always have the company to talk about. But if you can't, yeah, it's better if you can find like things in common. You know, either you share like, I don't know, an interest in some sports, or talking about the news, or and there's like a bit of a conversation, you know, going on. But yeah, if you don't have much to talk about, or you start like a conversation, you say, "Oh, did you see? Oh, have you watched the Olympics, for example?" The guy is like, "Yeah," or "No." Oh, okay. Then, "Oh, do you see on the news? Na na ni, na na." Oh yes, yeah. And then you don't really get like too much of you know, an engagement from the other guy. Then so okay, it doesn't really feel like talking, you know. So then it's a little bit difficult indeed. But yeah, if you get a bit of a response from the other guy, and then you know he kind of like throws things back at you, and there's a bit of a conversation going, then it's good. Hey Space Agent, bonjour, ça va? Comment ça va? Bienvenue de retour aujourd'hui aux États-Unis. So yeah, it's but most of the time you'll find that the guys are relatively chatty, and if they are like quiet periods, I think there's an understanding that at some point, you know, you're not gonna talk for like 6, 7, 8 hours. At some point, like, people also kind of understand, at least that's my perception of it, that if there's like a 5-10 minute like silence where, I don't know, people will kind of just enjoy the scenery or whatever, and there's a little break in the conversation, then it's okay, you know, it's not bad. But then things will start again, you know, we'll find something to talk about again. Exactly, Bob, yeah. Sometimes there's nothing wrong with a bit of quiet as well. As long as it doesn't last too long. Because it's true, then you're kind of sitting there, you know, and it's okay for a while, you kind of monitor the aircraft, look outside a little bit, like, easy, but if it stays like this for too long, then it's not good either. Ah, sorry, I thought because you said bonjour that you are like French speaking. You are, sorry. Ah, but the sentence is good though. Je ne parle pas français, désolé. That's 100% accurate. First. What is this active sky and PMDG? There's a big weather blob there. Maybe if we remove the weather plus turbulence, we make it only weather. Maybe it's gonna change the color. Will definitely change the magenta, no? But to the right of the aircraft, I don't see anything violent. Maybe this little... no.
Flight 209er, you are cleared for takeoff.
Hey,
Roger.
Alex.
Huh? LA departure frequency 123.9er.
Roger.
Huh? Roger.
Request vector. Over. What?
What?
Flight 209er, clear for
Roger,
vector
Roger.
324.
We have clearance, Clarence. Roger, Roger. What's our vector, Victor?
Thank you very much for the follow. Hopefully we'll see you from time to time. What's up, Victor? Indeed. Ah, it's maybe a little bit building up here. We got this little thing going up. On the side it looks massive, but I don't see much out there. But this one is definitely building. Unless it's this thing here that is a little bit towering up. I mean, it's already good that they try to provide like live weather, so... Oh, look at that, it's building up! Oh, that one like got created live on the go. Yeah, that's the storms in the US. For the moment, it's okay. We're kind of clear of that storm. It's gonna be interesting for the arrival. Earlier on, I was saying like thunderstorm and rain. Let's see, update. I've got a bit of extra fuel. Yeah, now it's totally clear. Sign of rain whatsoever. Yeah, the other day I did a takeoff in the simulator with the Aerosoft 319, and that was in Lyon. I chose the weather. I don't know how, you know, I connected like the simulator, like quickly launched the flight, launched the real weather. God, I was like thunderstorm. The visibility was down to 700 or 800 meters, heavy rain. The weather radar was painting all red. I mean, it's Aerosoft, but still, it was like all red and stuff. I was like, yeah, it's okay, you know, it's just simulator. I'll take off in that. Oh God, the aircraft was all over the place. You know, it was going up and down, and the speed was like. I couldn't stabilize the aircraft. It was absolutely crazy. And I thought, maybe I shouldn't have taken off in that weather. So even in the sim, like with this type of created weather with active sky, it gets really wild. So if if you got a little bit of the settings in active sky to make it a little bit more realistic, definitely don't take off in this kind of weather, because you're gonna be like thrown all the way around. Are we clearance? Clarence? Hey firm. Roger, roger. What are you thinking about? Where did you last fly? Where was it? Somewhere in Africa. That's what I would say. I don't want to be too specific once again, but I'll say somewhere in Africa. In the northern part of Africa, I'll be even more specific. Which was okay, actually. It was a good trip, 24-hour layover. Not too bad. Yeah. It was hot, really hot yesterday, actually. Yeah, Space Agent 777, yeah, film. Yeah, you know, I like this little video clip where the guy says, we are sinking, mayday, mayday, we are sinking. I go, hello, we are the German Coast Guard. We are sinking, we are sinking. What are you thinking about? Which actually I think is an advert for like a language school of all things. Show you like, yeah, sometimes with languages it's easy to misinterpret things. Yeah, the red there is this little thing there, this little cloud mass. There's like 4 little towering. Oh, and there's actually you see that, the lightning there? I've got a video actually. I'll try to post, but I'm trying to to find a way to transfer it into one of those computers or something, of like flying at night close to a thunderstorm, and you can see all the flashes and stuff in the actual cloud. It's quite impressive. That was a huge storm. We are flying maybe like 20-30 miles away from it, but you could like see it quite well, and all the flashes and stuff inside. Amazing to see. There can be powerful storms in this area actually. But we are clear here, so that's all right. Yeah, it depends on the settings you have in Active Sky, but if you have like a little bit of realism inserted, if you've not like turned the cursors all the way to 0 in terms of turbulence or downdrafts and stuff like that, and the clouds in particular, then it's a bad idea fly into the storms there. And at the end of the day, it's realistic, because in the aircraft in real, you wouldn't fly into like big clouds like this that are like depicted in red on the display. So we'll stay well away from the red. We shouldn't be too far now, actually. Not that I'm counting the time, but yeah, 20:32 and 21:12, so yeah, about 40 minutes to go. And weather has improved. Yeah, the Germans speaking the yeah, in English they pronounce it as S. Yeah, because some sounds are obviously not featuring in other languages. So yeah, the TH from the English is not really spoken in German or in French or other languages. It's a very English thing indeed. One of the few Germans we can pronounce the TH in English, and you, of course. Actually, here on the display, it's a little bit, there's a little bit of everything, but you've got those 1, 2, and 3 kind of round clouds, and if you look outside again, you'll see these 3 cells, 1, 2, and 3 there. So it's trying to paint on the radar something that is actually in the simulator, which is nice to see. Yeah, at the end of the day, it's about like where you learn the language a little bit as well, where you had the chance to practice and hear it, and then also if you have a bit of talent for languages. I don't know, some people are maybe a little bit more gifted than others. I don't want to throw myself like you know, flowers and saying that, you know, I'm usually okay with languages, so maybe not like actually like speaking the languages, but kind of learning and remembering a little bit. It's fantastic. Right, let's do a little bit of music again for landing, since we're in the theme. I like that song. I'll disappear for a while and we'll do a bit of what do you call that? Thematics. Get rid of the advert first. Here we go. No, I can mute sounds, that would help. Hey, I'm back. Yeah, this is fantastic, huh? We are like on this NFL theme, so that's the music. Space Agent, Porcelain, my movie, very cinematic. Yeah, no, I played that song because it's with the NFL theme thingy, so. Yeah, Lufthansa, they would do the basic training in Arizona. I think a lot of schools go to Arizona. It's a famous place in the US, along with Florida, I think, where there's a lot of flying schools indeed. Yeah, Arizona and Florida, yeah, a lot of schools. And mainly because of the weather, of course. Above all for the VFR type of flying. I think though, I can't remember where it was. Somebody was talking about... Oh yeah, it was some tree about like in Los Angeles, or like in the Los Angeles area, learning to fly there. The flying hour with the instructor seemed to be quite a lot of money actually. I was surprised because the US is famous for you know, being a cheap place to fly, but the rates he was quoting was like, whew, I don't know if it was not like $200 like an hour or something like that. I thought, oh god, really? I knew that was like Los Angeles, so maybe there was a bit of a premium for, well, not Los Angeles International, of course, but it was somewhere in the Los Angeles area. Oh, what is this? What is this now? Whoa, 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 whoa! The storm is brewing there. Oh, wow. Really? Doesn't look like much. What are we gonna do? Where is the route going next? Oh, it's the arrival after that. Of course, just before the arrival, that now I need to kind of set it up. I'm gonna have to take into account the weather. Very nice. Yeah, it's building up very quickly actually. It's maybe a little bit unnatural, but... Ah, but it's disappeared. Ah, no, it's back. Lovely. Alright, so the wind is coming slightly from the right, although it's pretty much on the tail, but there's a slight component coming from the right. So we're gonna go into the wind. Let's wait for the next radar update on the display there. Yeah. The moment it looks visually at least like there's more on the left than on the right. So we'll go to the right. Click track select and deviate the right. We'll play the game. It's like that flight on stream I did to Zurich where I was like, request heading such and such to avoid weather, and poor controller was a little bit, I think maybe a little bit annoyed because I kept asking for like weather deviations and stuff, and it's like, well. Right, anyway, we are avoiding here. Doesn't look too bad actually, but I just play the game. I like that. It's on my to-do list tonight. Yeah, we'll go at least here. I've got the fuel anyways. Indeed. The little dog leg. Right, so it's gonna be the arrival soon. Gonna look again at the weather. The Meta and Kilo Papa India Tango. 170 at 4, so I guess we'll go on runway 28. QNH 305. There will be maybe a tiny bit of a tailwind, but just a tiny bit. Actually, let's have a look. Flight plan and the forecast there. Yeah, still supposed to be kind of southwesterly, so we'll stick to runway 28 left. 28 left. So, to check the recall, there's nothing there. On the checklist, there are no notes. If there were notes, there will be a little gray box here saying notes, but there's no notes. The notes will be if there were any technical issues with the aircraft, and we run a checklist. Flashing, and the checklist would provide some information on, for example, the aircraft configuration for landing or other little tips, and then they would those tips will be provided in the notes checklist. But today, since everything is going well, and that was not my intention anyway to simulate any issues, then there's no notes. The return is actually improving a little bit, but it didn't look too bad. Maybe that one is pointing up. This a little bit, yeah. Yeah, as I said, we'll play the game. We'll avoid the red. That's it. Right, so no notes, no recall is checked. Arrival, we go ILS 28 left. It's the Fuga 28. And the transition is via Hotel November, which I believe is Anderson Loire. So, and the transition, what is gonna be the transition? Via AGC, I think, but we'll do radar vectors. Or is it Pete? Yeah, AGC. Okay. Oof, still flashing. And execute now. Alright. Let me find the charts. Very good. Okay, I've got them here. So, the arrival is on this chart. So, oh, Memphis Center is now on. Oh, bugger. So the Fuga 7. So we're arriving here, yeah, via Henderson. Get a little closer there. See, there was a lot of weather on the. It's flashing quite a bit actually, and now it's kind of dissipated a little bit. Cool. So we start at Hotel November down here. with the Fuga 7. Then we go to Parkersburg, JPU in the FMC. I don't see any restrictions. They're on the way down. Then to Bel Air, which is first is Pirate, this waypoint here, and then we go to Bel Air, Alpha India Romeo, it's here, then to Whiskey, expect 10,000, so the database doesn't have the correct altitude, so we'll have to enter it manually. 10,000 at Whiskey. Here we are, so that's why we always have to check, because the Navigraph database is not always, it's 95% accurate, but there are the odd occasions like this one where it's a little bit different. No, I've never dumped fuel in the simulator. We've practiced like a few times and stuff, but in the simulator it's just pressing the buttons. But yeah, no, in the aircraft never had to do it, which is good. You don't want too much excitement, you know, because there also, at the end of the day, there are also like ecological considerations. You know, you're gonna like dump a lot of shit into the atmosphere. It's not very nice, so it's a good thing that we don't have to do it too often. You see that was in Los Angeles, one of those 777 crews who dumped the fuel over like schools and built up area, and that was a bit of a mess. So yeah, dumping fuel is no good. So we go Whiskey, yeah, then to Fuga, that's the name of the arrival, Fuga. After Fuga we go to Bubluck, Fuga, Bubluck, then to Gold H. Yeah. After Gold H is to Jopa, then to Queens, then to Sydney. That's it, and then the vectors. So actually, I'll get rid of that AGC again and go to Hallin. Okay. Something like that. Cool. And for the ILS in itself, so the ILS United States Pittsburgh International, ILS 28 left. Actually now I'll resume the navigation to Anderson there and engage LNAV. Weather has disappeared from the radar. Yeah, it's a bit bad. It's a simulator after all. Yeah, the hydrogen, I mean, it's just to obviously find an alternate source of fuel, but yeah, it's not for tomorrow. You know, they'll have to try a few things first and see how it goes. Yeah, to go back to the fuel dumping, the way you dump fuel is that you can actually do it either way. There's obviously like a checklist to follow, but it's basically a matter of opening the fuel nozzles here and arming the fuel jettison system, and then you piss the fuel off the aircraft, basically. If you speak French. So yeah, crashing. So yeah, that's the way to jettison the fuel. Yeah, it is a total waste. I agree. It's just that those aircraft, because obviously you can take on a lot of fuel, and you're limited a little bit by the landing weight. It's a functionality that is not present, for example, on a Boeing 737 or 320, because the weights don't justify having that capability, you know, to dump the fuel. But for those long-haul aircraft, it's obviously part of the aircraft. And so 28 left. We'll be looking for India Papa Fox Sierra for the ILS ident. Hopefully it's in the scenery. 28 the end of the star, which was at Sydney there. We go to Hallin, which is this point here, 4,000 feet, and then via Pitts, 3,000, and then to the runway. And in case of a missed approach, 280 degrees initially, and then left turn to Hotel Lima Golf and climb 4,000 feet. Okay. Minima, because the airport is a little bit elevated, is gonna be 1330, and it wants me to reset the altitude, so I'll do that. I'll set 10,000, which is the only restriction on the arrival. So right, so that's the legs page there is correct, everything is good in the FMC. What I'll do actually, because here, I don't know if you can see it, the airport is actually at 1200 feet, so we'll set in the descent page 250 below, let's say 12,000 feet, because the airport is a little bit elevated. So like this. The minima we set 1330, so I'll cheat a little bit, and I'll set the minima with the FS control function. So go to menu, FS control on, then press FS, and then in the minimums there, type in the minimums. That kind of saves you having to turn the knob for too long. And then go back to the menu and the FS control off, and then just go back to the FMC function. We don't do that in the aircraft because the knob like turns the baro minimums quite quickly, but in the sim it takes forever, as you know. So yes, that's correct. Space Agent 777 is a category D aircraft for the minimums in particular. Yeah. And that's that. Then I'll work out the VRF. So we're gonna land with 9.5, let's say, once we burn a little bit of fuel in the configuration. 9.5 plus 230.4, it's gonna be 239, 240. 40 exactly. So 240 tons, which is below the max landing weight of 251.290 to be accurate. We'll take 146 there for the VRF. For auto brakes 3. On the approach ref page, actually, you've got the information of the runway 28 left there, 3,500 meters, which is what I have on the chart as well, which I've taken away now. Cool. What else? I think we're pretty much set up. Oh yeah, you can do it like that. Yeah, I think I've got like the non-realistic or the quicker version, but still it still takes a little bit of time. That's it. So I've got on the PFD the VRF 30 there set. I've got the baro minimums. I've got the QNH preset or the altimeter setting preset there, 3005. The instrument, the standby instrument here is set, and we've got the auto brake also showing something. Hey, le parrain, bonsoir, ça va? No, I see what you mean, Space Agent. There's a function for the baro knob there to make it a little bit faster, but I still don't find it fast enough. So in the sim here, I use that that kind of backdoor method, you know. Oh, I could see a little bit of weather around the airport. Oh yeah, oh my god. Gonna have to maneuver a little bit. Cool. And the FMC is all set up as well. Yeah, got weather. So we've got the minima, the VRF, the minima, QNH preset, the standby instrument, the auto brake, and the FMC. FMC basically looking at the descent page, the legs page sequence is correct, and work out, of course, the VRF process as well, roughly. Yeah, Volanta, they would have been, yeah, a little to avoid the weather. It would have been interesting to actually look at the weather and those places. I can see on the Volanta map there's a place called Ashland, Coal Grove. See what the weather was in these places, if there was like a big like storm, or at least like a thunderstorm when we were like flying on top of it. I'm gonna have to deviate. Bit of weather on there. We'll see as we get closer. Oui, la météo elle est pas terrible hein, pour le moment. It's a little bit red on the weather. We're gonna have to find a way to get in. I'll try to play the game once again. Drag required. Yeah, always does that. It's only a couple of knots faster, but Space Agent, no, that's version 4.5. I've not upgraded to version 5. So, how are we gonna do that? Mind you, earlier on, you know, when I did the dog leg there, you could see that then the weather started to improve on the weather radar. So I'll get a little bit closer and see what it's like. But if this was the actual picture, then it wouldn't be so great. Right, let's do the briefing with this dude. So vectors, yeah, we'll do vectors. ILS cat 1 to 1330. Like this. Flap 30, dry, possibly, yeah, it was still dry. Level 3, we'll start the APU, keep the transponder. We're gonna go to the gate and weather and terrain. Descent checklist.
Stand by. Descent checklist. Recall. Checked. Notes.
Checked.
Auto brake level 3. Landing data.
VRF is 146, minimums 1330 feet. Set and checked.
VREF 146. Minimums 1330 feet. Approach briefing.
Completed.
Descent checklist complete.
Space Agent, the wind correction for the landing, usually you're absolutely correct. You add +5. So today the final approach speed, the VRF, is gonna be 146, so I'll fly with 151. If it's gusty or the wind is relatively high, then you can add a little bit more, but and 95% of the time you would just add the +5. You can add up to +10, but if you keep the auto throttle engaged, of course, which I do. Le parrain du bled, oui, vas-y, je t'écoute. Non, ça me dérange pas de parler français, mais en même temps, je parle pas trop français parce que pour pas aliéner, si tu veux, le reste de l'audience, parce que d'habitude je le fais en anglais. Et vas-y, tu peux poser la question et après on traduira et tout ça. There's a little one here. The airport actually looks in the clear, which is good news. Let's have a look again. Not gonna sweat, that's only simulator. seatbelt sign is on. The crew has been informed I might be a little bit bumpy. Possibly whenever the 777X arrives. Indeed, it might take a while. The last I heard a few weeks back was not very good. Was not very good indeed. There seems to be a few complications. On the right it looks quite blocked. Looks a lot of weather. So we may deviate, we might deviate to the left there and try to go around and see if we can get in via the other side. That's what we're gonna do, I think. No, Boeing is it's difficult, you know. It started with the max difficulties, and now the 777X is being delayed, and it's a bit of a carry-on, you know. Le parrain du bébé, la masse maximale à l'atterrissage, du moins du point de vue certification, c'est 251 tonnes 290 pour être précis, sur le 300ER. So the maximum landing weight on the Boeing 777-300ER is 251 tons and 290 kilos. So yeah, as long as the weight is good, you have that weight or less, then that's fine. Si t'as à l'atterrissage, si t'as 251 tonnes, t'es bon quoi. Même si t'as 25 tonnes de carburant encore, c'est pas le souci. Le seul problème, c'est évidemment si le poids sans le fuel est déjà élevé, et après t'as encore beaucoup de fuel. Right, so we'll go around now. Well, not go around, but I mean go around the weather here, because it looks a little bit nasty. Obviously in the aircraft I wouldn't be able... Oof. Yeah. I wouldn't be able to move. I don't have a camera at the back of the aircraft looking like this around. But yeah, it looks like quite chunky clouds. Huh? Oof. Yeah. So yeah, the plan is to go around and see if, instead of coming from the south of the airport on the left-hand downwind, if we can go around to the north and go on the right-hand downwind to get in runway 28. Maybe possibly change to 28 right instead of 28 left, if 28 left is a little bit in the weather. We'll see how it goes. Hey, Roger Digger, you're back. Le parrain du bled, ça a répondu à ta question donc pour la masse de l'atterrissage, donc 251 tonnes. La quantité de carburant, c'est pas grave, ça dépend évidemment de la masse de l'avion à vide. Si tu as un poids, disons avec tous les passagers et tout, de 220 tonnes et tu as 25 tonnes de carburant, donc ça fait 245 tonnes au total, ça passe. Mais si la masse avec les passagers et tout, c'est 237 par exemple, et que tu as 25 tonnes d'essence, ça fait 252 poids à l'arrivée. C'est un petit peu trop. So the little white dash line there is the extended center line. So the runway is here and off the display there. So let's see. That's another dog leg on Volanta. Oh yeah, okay. So we're gonna fly like this, keep it like that. Yeah, it would be interesting to see yourself land. A friend of mine, let's take it in basic mode now. Let's do it. A friend of mine took a couple of photos once. I've got a photo of just like when I was about to land, but like a video, no. No, that's never happened. Yeah, we'll go around the red. If we get into a little bit of the green there, or the yellow is not that bad, but we want to avoid those big red blobs there.
1,000 feet to level off.
So now my arrival is totally out of the window. So ATC in the US I think are quite good. They know where the bad weather is. That would probably also be represented on their radar screen. So they know the areas where basically they count vectors traffic around. So they'll have to, you know, find other ways. Also like following the pilot request to avoid, but they'll know, for example, that the weather at the moment is kind of southwest of the airport there. So they'll know that this area is a no-go area, basically. Alright, let's take heading, I guess. Let's go down a little further. It's a bit of excitement.
10,000 feet.
Approach checklist.
Cabin crew, prepare for landing.
Approach checklist.
Approach checklist. Altimeters.
3005 set. 3005 set. Set and checked.
Set. Approach checklist complete.
Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be arriving.
It's another set and checked
story. Connection to another flight. Please see the customer service agent meeting this flight or video monitors inside the.
Oh, Rotterdam, you've had another like MSFS incident. It's terrible.
Newspapers and any other items you wish to discard or may not be taking off the aircraft with you.
So we are in the cloud, but it seems to be like a thin cloud, and on the weather radar, believe me, if the cloud was not thin, it would show like red like that, so we're doing good.
Please stow your tray tables and return your seats to their upright position and check the security of your seatbelts. We will be landing shortly. Thank you.
Yeah, no, the airport is in the clear. It's just to the south. The south is a little bit blocked by the weather. We'll have to go to the other side. Let's go. Oui, Dreamliner 22, le carburant qui est en trop après l'atterrissage, il reste dans les réservoirs et bon, c'est un bonus pour la fois suivante. Mais oui, the leftover fuel from any flight is then used for the next flight. Oh, Jorge, the lights are still kind of visible during the day. Obviously not greatly, but the lights are still somehow visible. So, and it's also to keep the flow regardless of the time of day. So, yeah, we do switch on the lights. But you'll be surprised that you kind of see a little bit the lights even during the day. Right, let's go down a little bit further. But now I'm kind of eyeballing the descent profile really, because the whole arrival is on the other side. You see there's still a bit of red, which makes me think as well the go around takes you through this red, so that will be something else you would negotiate with ATC, saying that the go around procedure is in the red. You would ask for maybe a runway heading and keep the heading, but not turn to the left, because that's the missed approach procedure here, and you're gonna go through the red here, so you want to avoid that, of course, if you have to go around. Yeah, no, to the north is good. There's another cloud here. Further south, it's outside of the display, so we can't really see, but yeah, any big cities is quite nice from the skies. Yeah. Oh, and now we're getting a bit of rain there in the sim. Right, we'll turn closer to the downwind. And the platform altitude is 4,000, I think. So leave it there. Minimum
1,000 feet
safe
to level off.
is 3,100. So yeah, we can descend. There's no problem. And on the terrain display, and there's hardly anything. Good. Okay. You're not gonna bump into a mountain or something. Space Agent for planning, I use PFPX. I like PFPX because you can customize things, you can save the routes that you do yourself, you can export them and all that stuff. I like it. It's a personal preference. I know that there are other options out there, but PFPX is the one I like. Alright, so since we don't have a correct FMC anymore, because we went totally on the other side, what we can do is create some sort of a base waypoint. So we said that Hallin was the start of the ILS, so we can do Hallin and then create a point to the north. So do, let's say, 005/3 and pull it on top here, and then close the discontinuity. And then you'll see once we get closer, we kind of made some sort of base waypoint. And I'll just vector myself along the magenta line now. Good. Yeah, the lights during the day is more to be seen, indeed. And although it's not obvious, you still see the lights a little bit. And at night, it's a combination of both. It's to see and to be seen. In the air, of course, it doesn't do much, and the strobe lights, for example, don't do much. But the taxi light and the runway turnoff, they do help a little bit, you know, to light the surroundings. Yeah. When you do the FMC before the flight, in the reserve, which will be in the perf init here, the reserve you put here is the fuel to the alternate and the last 30 minutes. So for example, today the alternate is Cleveland. I think the amount required there was that's just like I was 3.9, and the final reserve was 3.3, so 7.2 in total. That's why you put in reserves here. Yeah, the new man cave is okay. I mean, I'm testing and see how things go in it. We'll see. I'll give it a go. We'll see. Otherwise, I'll have to find other arrangements. Right. Yeah, that's only 30 minutes in the alternate airport. Indeed. Hey, Krangul. Hi, how are you doing? Have we done? Yeah, next is landing checklist. So yeah, I mean, I played the game with the weather. I mean, we could, in the sim, maybe try to punch through the weather, but once again, if the weather is red like this, in real, I certainly wouldn't play flirting with the weather like that too much. Finals, is it? I'm not familiar with that terminology, finals, but I suppose it's final reserve? I would imagine it's final reserve, but I'm not familiar with that particular terminology there. Dreamliner 22. What I did is that I took the Hallin waypoint here, and then I entered like bearing and distance. So Hallin bearing 005 slash a distance of 3 miles, and then pull it on top of it, and that created the waypoint here. Yeah, FinRes, then it's final reserve indeed, yeah. Yeah. Flaps 1.
Speed check, flaps 1.
Just vector around. Oh, I pressed the button there. So we got India Papa Fox Sierra, which is the ILS ident, and that's correct. So we should have an ILS. Beautiful. That's correct. Final reserve and alternate airport fuel is the reserve fuel that you put into the FMC here in the perfinite page. That's correct. Take heading 190. And now actually what we can do is go to departure arrival, Pittsburgh arrivals, Hallin intercept. And then it's gonna give you a straight line from the runway like this to depict the center line. Flaps 5.
Speed check, flaps 5.
So much for the continuous descent today, but kind of level at like 4,000 feet like that, but it's okay. We had to go like the wrong way, so yeah, a little bit in the soup actually at the moment. Right. Yeah, there's definitely weather on the other side still, so I'll take heading 250. We got correct sensing and clear for the approach. Pittsburgh traffic, American 1868, ILS 28 left. Localizers captured already. Oh yeah, it's weather to the south. Oh. Flaps 15.
Speed check, flaps 15.
Oh, it's close. It's close.
Are you sure?
The weather is close to the south, and the wind is pushing. If you see the wind arrow there, the direction of the wind and where the clouds are on the weather radar, you can see it's gonna push the weather towards the airport and towards the approach. So in the next 10 minutes, 15 minutes, whatever, it might be a little bit nasty, you know? We're gonna get in just in time. Right. Yeah, maybe to relax. Gear down. Flaps 20.
Speed check, flaps 20.
$2,500.
Check. Flaps
crew, take your
30.
seats. Speed check flaps 30.
Thank you very much, sir.
Landing checklist. Landing checklist complete.
Checklist complete. Brace for impact. Wow, and you've got the the lightning up there. Oh wow. How amazing is this? It's not too bad. Sometimes you'll see like a curtain of water. Wow. Oh, there's maybe a bit of wind shear. Let's add a bit of couple of knots maybe, just for the
1,000 feet. Approach stable.
1,000.
flight director. So taking it manually. The wind has settled down a little bit, but the bad weather is close. So, as I said, in case of a go around, then it's straight ahead, huh? Because we can't really turn to the left. Dun 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 dun. Brace for impact. Brace for impact. 500 is checked. Did we forget anything? No. I don't know if we forgot. It doesn't matter anyway.
Plus 100.
Approaching minimums.
Checkly check.
Wind shear. Wind shear. Minimum. Wind
Oh,
shear.
is that Strato there? Landing.
40. 30. 20. 10.
Reverse. Oh, somebody else who went wind shear, wind shear. That got me actually. That was a very appropriate wind shear, wind shear. Or was it real? I don't know. Oh god.
60 knots.
For sure, if I was hearing that in the aircraft, man, it will be time to execute the wind shear escape maneuver. Oh, that was you, Rotadiga. That was a very good choice. Because that caught me, that startled me a little bit for wind shear, and then I looked at the PFD, because I know I've got the alert there in the background, so, but yeah. Right, so we'll come here, cross runway 28 center, then I have to find where I've got to go and park. Pittsburgh traffic, American 1868, crossing runway 28 center. Yeah, it's clear. And the landing rate, Space Agent, congratulations, beautiful. Right, where's my EFB? Oh yeah, I'm going to Bravo 33, I think. Cool. So this is Victor. And then we'll turn left on Victor 5 to the gate. Cool. Oh, let's clean up. If he wants to. Then switch off the weather radar. And yeah, we'll go via Victor 5, which is the next left. This is the conclusion. What a conclusion, huh? Hey, Nando Kitty, nice to meet you too. Right, so yeah, FS the crew has cleaned up the aircraft, so the strobe lights, all the landing lights come off. Obviously the flaps are being retracted, the auto brakes knob is returned to off. What else? Yeah, that's pretty much it really. Right, next left on Victor 5. Oh, good choice, LAX to DFW. That's a good one. Oh, it's still flashing. I mean, the weather is a little bit, yeah, it's providing you some sort of a scenario there. You see there's like a few stormy clouds, and then you have to kind of play the game and interpret the weather a little bit in the sim. It's not like the real thing, but it's not too bad actually. Right, so we're going to Bravo 33, which is, I think is the American Airlines terminal. The Bravo gate, it's this one. No marshaller or no follow me car, I mean. Cool. So that's when you would contact ramp. You would, when you turn into Victor 5, and now you enter the kind of apron area, that's where you contact ramp, who would give you the gate number, or even like sometimes you get the handling agent who would tell you what the gate number is, and then when you speak to the ramp controller, you just say, oh yeah, we are taxiing to gate Bravo 33. Which one is it? That's 35. So it's the next one. Yeah, here it is. We've got the guidance system. Lights and doors. This is actually not supposed to be a heavy gate, but a little bit of editing in GSX is doing the trick. Going 777 on the board, that's good. Now it's telling me, yeah, the tail is a little bit askew. Anyway, we'll manage. Takes you quite close to the building. Woo. No. Anyway, at this stage it's a little bit gimmicky. Eh? No. 2 feet stop. That's it. Let's see if it gives me a comment. Sometimes the guidance system tells you too far, or otherwise just okay. Ah, okay, yeah, good. Ooh, check the weather there still. God. So parking brake is set and the APU is running, so we can cut off the engines. Beautiful. And FS sections, the doors. The doors were not armed. Ah, donkey. Nando Kitty, thank you very much for the follow.
No, ma'am, this is not a good idea.
Sorry, Goose, but it's time to buzz the tower.
Right, so we'll switch off the flight director and blank the minima there. That's it, really. This one we can return to the index page. Yeah, that would be good if MSFS had the VDGS, yeah. The guidance system, but the guidance system there is actually an add-on with GSX. Is not part of P3D in itself. So let's switch off this one. That's it. Welcome to stormy Pittsburgh. Yeah, the weather radar is grilling the ground personnel indeed. Hey, Bob, thank you very much. Good night, sir.
The checklist.
Yeah, let's do the checklist. Shutdown checklist.
Shutdown checklist. Parking brake.
Set.
Shutdown checklist complete.
Very good, very good. Let's have a look. Out. Yeah, still flashing. A lot of lightning. That's it. I'll bring GSX again. Request the deboarding from L2. Okay. I'll need to open the doors actually. And I never armed the doors on the way out. Actually, I don't need to open this one. Yeah, cool. That's it. Welcome to Speedburn. It's getting late. Oh, that was a good one. Welcome to Speedburn. Speedburn. To Pittsburgh. Good God. Speedburn. Yeah, welcome to Here we go again. To Pittsburgh. Will I manage to say Pittsburgh? Not Speedburn. Oh God. So let's try again. Welcome to Pittsburgh. That will be the first leg of the NFL Tour 21. We flew from DFW Dallas to Pittsburgh. Next one will be Seattle Las Vegas. So we'll go to Viva Las Vegas. We'll try to do the Seattle Seahawks and Las Vegas Raiders. That'll be it. It kind of provides a bit of inspiration for the choice of flight, which I guess it's an option. Oof! Look at that beautiful parking. Yeah. That's the joys of the sim. A little bit askew. I sure wouldn't have got like Pittsburgh Lambada with this parking. If it had been like a marshaller. You got the speed burner. Oh man, it's a little bit late now. Huh? Please be lenient. Cool. Jorge, I'll go back to your question. Do you know when you are at the gate the frequencies that are online and available in real life? Because in VATSIM, if I can see ground and towers online. Yeah, I mean, you would get the frequencies mostly on the charts. So for example, charts again here. This is like an ILS chart, but you see in the green box here, got the frequencies. So you would refer to these to know what the frequencies are and then call on those frequencies. The charts are your friend actually because you've got a lot of information there. And obviously this is not like VATSIM where ATC presence is optional and it depends on having a controller online or not. Like at the airport like this, all the controllers obviously are at their desk and are ready to take the calls. So yeah. No, I don't use Navigraph because I've got those charts which are okay. I mean that's actually the charts I use at work. So I'm happy with those charts, and it covers kind of 95% of the airports I fly to here. So no, I don't personally need Navigraph. So, but Navigraph seems to be good because they use the how do you call that? The Jepson charts. So you can't go wrong with Jepson. I think Navigraph was using the Lido charts before, but they moved on to Jepson now. So yeah. Hey Ralba, goody night. I think you're saying good night. Cool. No worries, good night, sir. Thank you very much for joining me, and thank you for the subscription renewal again. Thank you very much. The takeoff with the packs off is very rare. what we do is a procedure called APU to packs, which actually is switching off one of the packs to provide a little bit more thrust. But APU to packs, packs off is quite rare. Actually, I've never done it. I've done it on the 737 a long time ago, but on the 777, if we need a little bit of extra performance for takeoff, then it's APU 2 packs, or otherwise takeoff bump, the good old bump. Packs off, no, I've never done it. So APU 2 packs and takeoff bunk. That's where I'm gonna head off soon, to the bunk, to the bed. The takeoff bump is there's like a special procedure to follow. It's not too complicated, but there's a special little checklist to follow, just to make sure you're not forgetting any items or anything like that. That's almost correct, Jorge. You take off with the APU running, indeed, and the system, you enter something in the FMC. Where is it? You know, the FMC is totally empty, but in the I'm trying to do it out of memory. So forgive me. Oh yeah, here in the cell APU box here. You enter an A, and you see it shows you like APU, and that does the switching of the packs automatically. So I think it's the right pack that is switched off. I'm saying that out of memory as well once again, so forgive me if I'm talking rubbish. The right pack is switched off automatically, and yeah, the APU keeps running. So you've got air conditioning in the flight deck, but the cabin is totally, you know, roasting because there's no more air. It cuts the air in the cabin. So, but that's only when you need like a little extra boost in the performance. So when it's hot, when the atmospheric pressure is low, if the runway is a little bit short, if there's like terrain considerations or whatever. If you're very heavy, of course, but it's rare. Ah, cool, Radba. Thank you very much. Have a good night. Thank you very much. So yeah, and then the takeoff bump is another little push to the engine power. By the end of the day, it's just to give you that little push over the edge, so to speak. It's just to push the limits a little bit further, but not too much. But very often it makes a difference, you know, because you can take maybe an extra 2 or 3 tons, and that makes a difference for the fuel or for the payload, you know, either the amount of cargo or passengers you can take. Yeah, we'll have to see how it works in MSFS. It'll definitely be interesting to see. Yeah, definitely. I hope the flight dynamics will be good, because I find the flight dynamics personally with like the kind of default aircraft or like any aircraft in general, I find the flight dynamics a little bit funky, but hopefully that will be sorted out. Yeah. It looks like they finished everything there. They offloaded all the bags, all the luggage, all the cargo. That's that. Welcome to Pittsburgh. Nando, I will let you Google it. I'm not gonna get into any kind of controversy here this evening, but I'll let you Google FS Lab 2018 MALWARE, and you'll find out. Yeah. My fault, huh? Anyway, that's that, guys. I was talking about the bunk. I'm gonna go to the bunk. So, hope you enjoyed it. Thank you very much for joining me today. That was the first leg of the tour, which is not really a tour because it will be all over the place, but it's the kind of weekly NFL themed series of flights. So every week we'll pick up like one of the games, the visiting team to the home team, and we'll do a flight between these two places. Be good fun. Just find like IDs of places to fly to and from. So that'll be good. Hey, Serpent, how are you doing? BR1 Serpent. Good evening. Just leaving now, actually. Bad timing. Bad timing. Bad timing. It was a fun flight into Pittsburgh. Kind of the weather, like the way it was all like packed to the south. You know, shows you that you can kind of go around and make it to the other side. So that was a good opportunity to demonstrate our work. Hey, thank you for the follow. Hopefully we'll see you next time. I'm not sure when the next time is gonna be, but
I am serious.
I'll keep everybody advised on the Discord in particular, and I'll need to use the Twitch schedule. But yeah, mainly on the Discord. So if you want to come and join on the Discord, that's the link here. I'll send again. I don't bite these people. It's actually relatively quiet. So. But Adiga, thank you very much. You didn't have much to do in terms of moderation, so yeah, as I said, it's very civilized. There's no much going on, so that's good. No bad boys. Thank you very much again. Yeah, guys, thank you for joining me today. We'll see you on the next one soon. I don't know if I'll do the next part of this kind of tour, or if we'll do another flight. Depends on the timing, actually. If it's time for me to do the Seattle to Las Vegas, then I'll do that one. Otherwise, if I've got more time, then I'll do something else, and then I'll do the NFL thing as we go along. So we'll see. I'll keep you posted, and depends a little bit on the availability and all that stuff. But for the moment, I'll say goodbye, and thank you again for joining me. Pollux, thank you for the subscription. I'm not sure if you're still here, but thank you for the subscription. That's very kind of you. I appreciate it. And until next time, guys, thank you very much. Hopefully, we'll see some of the new followers as well in the next streams. And until then, thank you. Good night. I will see you soon. Take care. Bye bye.